Have you ever wondered what happens when a celebrity gets on the wrong side of Joe Rogan? The renowned comedian, UFC commentator, and podcast host is known for his no-holds-barred approach to discussing controversial topics and calling out public figures on their hypocrisy and idiocy. In this video, we'll dive into some of the most memorable instances where Rogan put celebrities in the hot seat, exposing their ignorance, dishonesty, and downright stupidity. From Adam Conover's cringeworthy takes on trans rights to Candace Owens' climate change denial, Howard Stern's transformation into a woke sellout, Carlos Mencia's shameless joke theft, and CNN's blatant lies about Rogan's COVID treatment. We'll cover it all. So buckle up and get ready for a wild ride as we explore how Joe Rogan takes on the rich and famous, and why he's become the voice of reason in a world full of celebrity nonsense. Adam Conover. In 2019, comedian and TV host Adam Conover appeared on Rogan's podcast, and the episode quickly turned contentious. Conover, known for his show Adam Ruins Everything, clashed with Rogan on topics such as transgender rights and the use of hormone therapy for children. Conover argued in favor of allowing children as young as 7 to receive hormone treatments, while Rogan pushed back, citing the lack of scientific evidence supporting such decisions. Rogan also questioned Conover's stance on transgender athletes in sports, highlighting the inherent physiological advantages that biological males have over females. Throughout the discussion, it became increasingly clear that Conover was ill-prepared to defend his positions, resorting to anecdotal evidence rather than scientific facts. The conversation between Rogan and Conover exposed a stark contrast in their approaches to discussing complex issues. While Rogan consistently emphasized the importance of relying on scientific evidence and considering the long-term implications of decisions, Conover prioritized a more emotionally driven narrative. This disconnect led to several awkward moments where Conover's arguments crumbled under the weight of Rogan's pointed questions and counterpoints. The episode served as a prime example of how Rogan's direct and uncompromising style can reveal the weaknesses in his guests' reasoning, particularly when they are not well versed in the topics they claim to champion. Candace Owens, conservative commentator. Candace Owens faced Rogan's scrutiny when she appeared on his podcast in 2018. The two engaged in a heated debate about climate change, with Owens expressing skepticism about its existence and Rogan firmly believing in the scientific consensus. Rogan challenged Owens, asking why she held such a strong opinion on a topic she admittedly had not thoroughly researched. Owens claimed that the issue had been politicized, prompting her lack of belief, but Rogan insisted that she should educate herself before forming a definitive stance. The exchange between Rogan and Owens highlighted the dangers of forming strong opinions without a solid foundation of knowledge. Rogan's insistence on the importance of understanding the science behind climate change served as a reminder that public figures have a responsibility to be well-informed before using their platforms to influence others. Owens' reluctance to engage with the evidence and her reliance on political talking points demonstrated the pitfalls of allowing ideology to supersede facts. By challenging Owens' position and encouraging her to delve deeper into the subject matter, Rogan exposed the superficiality of her stance and the need for a more rigorous approach to discussing complex issues. Howard Stern. While Howard Stern never appeared on Rogan's podcast, he has been a frequent topic of discussion. Rogan has criticized Stern's transformation from a shock jock who pushed boundaries to a woke celebrity who now conforms to mainstream narratives. Rogan sees this change as a betrayal of Stern's original rebellious persona that challenged societal norms and censorship. The two have also had a falling out over Stern's attempts to embarrass Rogan by bringing up his past relationships and indiscretions on air. Rogan's critique of Stern's evolution reflects a broader concern about the erosion of authenticity and the pressure to conform to prevailing cultural trends. By calling out Stern's apparent hypocrisy, Rogan highlights the importance of staying true to one's principles and resisting the temptation to abandon them for the sake of popularity or acceptance. The falling out between the two media personalities also underscores the personal toll that can come with publicly challenging others' behavior, as Rogan's decision to confront Stern ultimately led to the end of their friendship. Nevertheless, Rogan's willingness to speak his mind and stand by his convictions, even at the cost of personal relationships, demonstrates his commitment to upholding the values of honesty and integrity. Carlos Mencia. Comedian Carlos Mencia faced perhaps the most scathing exposure by Rogan. In 2007, Rogan confronted Mencia on stage at the Comedy Store, accusing him of being a notorious joke thief. Rogan recited numerous instances where Mencia had stolen material from other comedians, leaving Mencia stunned and speechless. The comedy community largely sided with Rogan, with many well-respected comedians confirming Mencia's reputation as a joke thief. Despite Mencia's attempts to defend himself by comparing his actions to rappers sampling music, the damage to his career was irreparable. Rogan's public confrontation with Mencia sent shockwaves through the comedy world, exposing the seriousness of joke theft and the consequences of engaging in such unethical behavior. By taking a stand against Mencia's plagiarism, Rogan demonstrated his commitment to protecting the intellectual property of his fellow comedians and upholding the integrity of the craft. The incident also highlighted the power of public accountability, as Rogan's willingness to call out Mencia's actions directly led to a significant shift in the perception of the once popular comedian. While Rogan has expressed some regret over the personal toll the confrontation took on Mencia, he has remained steadfast in his belief that it was necessary to address the issue head-on and send a clear message that joke theft would not be tolerated within the comedy community. CNN. Rogan's feud with CNN centered around the network's coverage of his use of ivermectin to treat the pandemic. CNN repeatedly referred to the medication as a horse dewormer, painting Rogan as an irresponsible figure promoting dangerous misinformation. Rogan, who had been prescribed the human version of the drug by a doctor, was outraged by CNN's mischaracterization. He invited CNN's chief medical correspondent, Dr. Sanjay Gupta, on his podcast to confront him about the network's lies. Rogan pressed Gupta, asking if it bothered him that his network had knowingly spread misinformation, to which Gupta conceded that they should not have called it a horse dewormer. The incident with CNN underscored the importance of media accountability and the dangers of spreading misinformation, even when it comes from seemingly reputable sources. By challenging CNN's coverage and forcing them to acknowledge their mischaracterization of ivermectin, Rogan demonstrated the power of holding media outlets accountable for their reporting. The feud also highlighted the double standards often applied to alternative viewpoints, as Rogan's decision to explore unconventional treatment options was met with derision and dismissal, while CNN's missteps were largely overlooked. Through his confrontation with Dr. Gupta, Rogan not only exposed CNN's willingness to distort facts to push a narrative, but also emphasized the importance of having open and honest conversations about controversial topics, even when they challenge the prevailing wisdom. Joe Rogan's encounters with these celebrities and media figures have solidified his reputation as a fearless truth-teller who is unafraid to challenge the status quo. By exposing the hypocrisy, ignorance, and dishonesty of these individuals, Rogan has earned the respect and admiration of his listeners. His no-nonsense approach to discussing controversial topics and his willingness to confront those who spread misinformation or engage in unethical behavior have made him a vital voice in today's media landscape. That's all for this video. Leave your thoughts in the comments section. Also, take a minute out and subscribe to our channel. Stay tuned. See you soon.